Hello. So it's been a few days since I recorded the other video about converting stuff from the Dark Souls role-playing game. And I rolled, if you watched the video, I rolled 2 butchers. So and then I was kind of stuck, but I've been thinking since then. And I looked into this Forbidden Psalm, which is a skirmish game, a miniature game, and it had a small page about creating your own scenario. So I did just that. And I thought these 3 adventurers, John and Percival and Benedict, they are in some kind of underground place beneath the darker, older parts of town, the Undercity. Inspired by Dark Souls, of course, with the depths. So I thought I would just find some map in this giant book of maps and create these butchers using the Knave rules, converting them from Dark Souls. So I did. So I just made some small minis. I'm actually quite proud of these too. They're just printed and folded, and then I glued the sword, the big butcher's knife, onto them. So I got the minis and I converted it to the Knave rules. So it has an armor class of 14. The first one's got 24 HP, the other one's got 23 HP. They've got 7 in strength, otherwise 6 in con, but only half of the level, because they're level 6. Only half of that in wisdom and dex, and nothing in intelligence, because they're quite dumb, and 3 in charisma. And when they attack, they have the big cleaver, the big butcher knife, and it does d8 damage because they are so strong. And when you get hit by it, if it damages you, you have to make a strength save or be knocked prone. And then they have the stake, which is their second attack. It deals d6 damage, but if you're prone, it deals d10 damage. So obviously the tactic is to knock someone over and then put a stake into them. They move at a normal rate, 40, and they have a morale of 10 because they're not very afraid. Maybe they're too stupid. I don't know. And they appear 1d10 numbers, and they rolled a 2 last time. So there are 2 butchers, and they have the special attack where they throw the stake away or put it in the pocket, and then they make a 2-handed cleaver chop, where you have to make a dex save or receive d10 damage. So that's the butcher in all its nice simplicity. So that's the main enemy. Then I took the Into the Art book and rolled on some of the nice random tables in the back. They got all kinds of good stuff. Like what's the street like, and I rolled on that, and the atmosphere, and this table is there linked to the underground, which is the interesting one. So I rolled this. It's a street near the school, and the street is creepy. It's in the old part of town, or in the Undercity, and it leads, and there's a natural cave in somebody's cellar. So there's a maybe just a hole in the wall more than a door. Maybe they improvised some kind of wooden door into this big hole, leading downwards and downwards into the cult catacombs which also came up in the Into the Odd book. And there's a hazard, and the hazard is supposed to show up in round 3, I think, because Forbidden Psalm says in the create your own scenario section, on round 3, roll to determine what monster joins the fight. And I rolled a hazard in the Into the Odd book, and it said rivaling party. So in round 3 they will show another party up in this place underground. Players take, well, the first step in this create a scenario list is roll conditions. I'm not doing that because that's something like rain or fog, and this is underground, so there's nothing of that. Roll for the threat to set up on the middle of the board. That would be the butchers from last time. There's 2 of them. Roll on the why are you here table. And I rolled on this why are you here table, and I rolled the one that says number 5, acquire goods for the merchant. The merchant is a character in Forbidden Psalm, and he's kind of like the merchant in Dark Souls, I think, or maybe even the merchant from Resident Evil 4 or something like that. And then I rolled into the odd what object it is, the goods, and it's a stone tablet with gibberish on it. And of course, a stone tablet with gibberish could be an equivalent to a spell book in Knave, which it is. So then it says players take it in turns to place 4 treasure tokens, at least 12 inches, and I'm only using half the range because this table is a bit smaller, or the area where I play is a bit smaller, so I would say at least 6 inches from their deployment and 1.5 inches from other treasures. Okay, so I'm going to place 4 treasures, and in one of them there's this stone tablet, and I'm not supposed to know which one. So I need some kind of treasure tokens. I will take these very nice heavy metal dice, which are very nice and handcrafted, very heavy. So yeah, from the deployment area, and I'm going to determine which one is the deployment area now. This map has got an exit down here, you can see it on the picture. There's one here, it's 2, 3, 4 down here somewhere, 4, 5. Okay, so 1d5, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's down here, so I actually need to turn the camera just a bit, which is a good place. So this is the deployment area. So they come into this natural cavern. Not quite the catacombs. Actually, catacombs are not natural. They are humanly made. Well, doesn't matter. Now these tokens, they are quite big. So I'm thinking about using meeples instead. Also to make these butchers appear bigger. I'll do that. But first the treasures, of course. Like over here, and over here in this niche. And one down here somewhere. Can you see it? I don't know. There's 4 treasures. And I placed them randomly, I didn't think much. Of course I could roll some, I don't know, roll the coordinates, but I won't. Okay, so I need a miniature for the main character Percival first. For a main character I'm choosing the black meeple. And for what was his name again? Benedict, he's got this white scarf, so I think he'll be the white meeple. And then there's the John Jotun, the armored knight, which is, of course, a grey one, grey like the armor. So it's a bit easier. So when I open a treasure, I will roll a d4, and on a 1 it will be the artifact I'm supposed to find. Okay. So well, actually the treasures were supposed to be near each other, right? So yeah, I'll just put it here. Okay. So they are entering from... Is it on the camera picture? No. Okay. So they're entering over here. Percival is going in the front, and they didn't light any torches. Actually, I have to check. Are they still wounded? No. John Jotun lost some stuff. He still got his leg plate, arm plate, breastplate and helmet. So that's 4, so that's still an AC of 15. Okay. So nothing serious. Of course he doesn't have a weapon. He has to buy a weapon. Which of course costs, I don't know what that costs. I'll have to find it in the Knave book. Melee weapons, 1 slot, 50. 50 coins. So, I get to roll on the weapons table. That's always fun. That's a 13, which is brass knuckles. So, John Jotun doesn't want to drop more weapons, so now he has got brass knuckles. I'm gonna write it on the character sheet. Brass knuckles for d6 damage. Okay. And Benedict still got all his stuff. Of course he lost his spear the last time before they ran away, so he doesn't have a spear anymore. Actually, he doesn't have a weapon anymore. And of course I have to spend the coins for John, which was 50, so now he hasn't got 120 anymore, he's only got 70 coin. Okay. And I think Benedict will do the same, he's got 90 coins, so now he's got 40. Okay, so he bought a weapon. Let's see which weapon. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? I'm still learning to find stuff in the book. It's not that bad. But it's not that easy either, so. Treasures, no. Books, clothing, decorations, weapons, okay. So we find number 10. Boar spear. Boar? Boar? Boar. Like a boar? Like a pig? Boar spear. Okay. Boar spear, d6. And you can throw it if you want, really want to. So that's kind of like last time. Okay, so Percival still got his stupid sling and his halberd. He found the halberd in the orc camp, in the orcish birth camp in the desert, which was kind of random. Okay, so now they come into this cave. They haven't lit any torches because they see the flickering of the cauldron of these nasty butchers. And I think the cauldron is here. And one of them is probably standing at the cauldron. Let's see what they're doing, what their activity is. I'm using the Knave activity table. 49. They have a goal. And then I'm supposed to roll on the goal table on page 57. The goals table. 47. To distribute wealth. So the butcher wants to distribute wealth. Ah, yeah, I was thinking about these butchers. They're cooking human beings. So people have been disappearing and been taken by the butchers underground, and they've been cooked. And the butchers will take all their belongings and their treasures and stuff, coins of course, and distribute them. To whom? We don't know yet. It doesn't matter. What about the other? So that's their main goal. And what is this guy doing? 60. Looting, of course. He's looting a corpse. So they got a bunch of corpses down here. 2 corpses. I'll take the yellow ones, because I don't know why. Are they visible here? They're visible over here, and the one butcher is looting the corpses right now. Maybe even chopping off some limbs and giving them to the other guy standing at the cauldron. So they are occupied and not necessarily aware that we are here now. And I think our strategy would be, well, it's not very visible. There's a wall here, but then you can go through the wall here to this area. And of course we can't see any treasure now. But because there's not any treasure in this area, we might think it's in here. So we would sneak past this rock formation and therefore do a dex check. Percival's got +2 dex. 12, not enough. Normal checks are 16. So he steps on some loose stones and makes a noise, and the butchers, do they hear? Maybe. They have a wisdom of, was it 3? I think so. Ah, it's over here. They have a wisdom of 3. So maybe it's an opposed roll against 12. He makes quite a bit of noise, so it's easy. They have +3 and they have to hit 12. Okay, this one definitely hears everything. And the other one as well, 17. Okay, so they both turn their heads and their bodies, and they start to walk. Let's see if there's a surprise. And I think surprise is if an encounter occurs within 80 feet of the party, which is 16 squares, which is normal here, the closest PC makes a wisdom check against the wisdom of the closest encountered creature. If one side wins by 5 or more, they've surprised the other side, act first in combat, and gain a +5 on all combat checks during the first round. Okay. Easy peasy. So, Percival's wisdom is 0, so that's a 3, very bad. And then the one with +3 in wisdom, 16 +3 is 19. Okay, big difference. They actually get a surprise attack. So Percival steps on some stones. He thinks they didn't hear him, but they've heard him. They know this cave like the back pocket. They are used to listening around every corner, and they are used to the darkness. So they have this surprise attack. They move 8 squares each because they've got 40 movement. So the first one runs straight towards them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just by this formation, and hits Percival. +7. This is very, very bad. He's got an armor class of 12. Okay, 12 + 7, that's 19. So he gets some damage. Of course, he's got max hit points since last time it's been a few days. So that's D8. Oh, 6. Oh man. That's 0 HP and 4 wounds. Fortunately, he hasn't got all that stuff. So now that's a wound. And wound. Wound. And another wound. So that's 4 wounds. His inventory is full now. The next time he will lose stuff. But he also has to make a strength save now. To see if he gets knocked prone. He's got +1. Oh, 10. So he's prone now. Okay. And then, of course, the butcher's got another attack. And I think when he's prone, he's got -5 armor class. And it takes one turn to... no, it takes one action to get on his feet again. And after that, he's still got -5. That's a disadvantage to his own attacks and other checks. So, he's got an armor class of 7 now. And this one's got +7, so... It's obvious, and he rolls a 20, of course. +7, that's 27, that's not just damage, it's also a free maneuver. So I think he disarms him. He hits him with his stake for, let's see, 6 damage. That's actually what Percival's got left in his inventory, so he's done for. The butcher runs up to him, hits him with the butcher knife, blah! And Percival is surprised, falls to the ground. The butcher's on top of him with a wooden stake and knocks the stake into his heart. And Percival's dead. And now I've got this little surprise from a thrift store. Art and fun, creative. And I don't know if this is art, but this is definitely fun. So Percival, where do I put this? Boom. Ah. That's not very good. That was on its head. This was very bad. I will have to do it again. Okay, so it says dead and cause chopped. Chopped by butcher. Okay, easy peasy. He's gone. So now it's the other ogre's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. he doesn't reach the players. So now it's their turn. I think they will just run the fuck away. So Benedict, the antiquarian, and Jotun John, the peddler, will run. Yeah, and the butchers won't follow them this time. So that was a success. Not for the player characters, but I think it was a success for a fun little play session. I hope you enjoyed it as well, and I hope you will like and subscribe and comment. I appreciate that. So thanks for now. Goodbye.